waxaan marka ugu horeysa soo dhaweynayaa wafdiga ballaaran oo maanta garow nagu soo booqday oo hogaaminayay ku-xigeenka SRG-ga oo ay ka mid ahaayeen EU iyo IGAD iyo AMISOM African Union iyo inta kaleeto la socotay runtii waxay ka mid ahayd kulamada joogtada ah ee mar walba ay ku maraan dalka Soomaaliya mar horena ay ugu yimaadeen Puntland oo la xiriira sidii geedi socodka siyaasadeed ee dalka mar walba iyo amni loo horumarin lahaa kulankaas oo runtii waqti fiican qaatay dawladda Puntlandna ay la wadaagtay sidii loo gudbi lahaa marxaladaha hadda lagu jiro ku saabsan sidii loo heli lahaa doorasho xor iyo xalaal ah oo lagu kalsoon yahay oo sharciyad wanaagsan dalka u yeelata dabcan hawlo badan baa la soo qabtay muddadii u dambeysay heshiiskii 17 bishii 9aad lagu galay Muqdisho madaxda dawladda federaalka iyo madaxda dawladaha xubnaha ka dawladda federaalka ku wada galeen baarlamaanka labadiisa aqalna ay ansixiyeen iyo kii u dambeeyay oo ku saabsanaa habraacyo loogu talagalay in lagu fududeeyo doorashadaas ay ku dhacday 1 October wili waxaa dhiman sidii hawshaas loo maamul lahaa oo dhinaca maamulka doorashada iyo gudiyadoodii oo hadda gacanta lagu hayo waxyaabo badan oo u baahan in la saxana ay ku jiraan laakiin wada hadallo iyo shaqo ka socota waxaan rajaynayaa doorasho waqtigeeda dhacda oo kalsooni lagu wada qabo oo dhammaan dhinacyada danaynaya doorashooyinkuna ay ku qanacsan yihiin inay dhacdo wixii tabasho ah oo ay ka jiraan qodobada gaarkoodna waxaan rajaynayaa in laga gudbi doono Puntlandna mar walba roolka ama kaalinta ay ku leedahay dawlad dhiska Soomaaliya ay qaadan doonto aragtiyaha xalka loogu heli karana waxay la wadaagtay madaxda maanta soo booqatay waxaan rajaynaynaa haddii Ilaahay idmo inta dhimanna in waqtigeeda iyo ay munaasab ku tahay aan ka hadli doono aad baan uga mahadcelinayaa inay noo yimaadaan waxaan rajaynayaa qodobadii aan ka wada hadalnay oo dhan inay ahaadaan qodobo dhaxalgal noqon doona oo wax ka tari doona deganaanshaha dalka iyo horsocodka siyaasadeed ee dalka Soomaaliya waxaan u rajaynayaa mujtamaca Soomaaliyeed marxaladihii kala duwanaa ay soo mareen inay u anba bixi doonaan marxalad deganaansho iyo nabadgelyo ay ku dheehan tahay soo dhawaad mahadsantahay.
Good afternoon. We are very pleased to be in Garowe today. I would like to thank His Excellency President Saciid DENI and his team for the warm welcome extended to us today. I am here today with the special representative of the chairperson of the African Union, Ambassador Francisco Madera, the European Union's Ambassador to Somalia, His Excellency Nicholas Belanga, and from the IGAD, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, its head of mission for Somalia, Mr. Jamal Ahmed Ibrahim. This is our third group visit to a federal member state in the past 2 months. Recently, we have been to Baidoa and Galmudug, and we will visit the remaining federal member states, Jubaland and Yereshabele, in the coming weeks. In our meeting today with the President, we discussed the importance of strengthening the relations between the federal government of Somalia and federal member states. We have been encouraged by the revitalization of the dialogue between the federal government and all the federal member states these past few months. This involved President DENI's active role in the series of meetings that began in Dusamareb in July and August, which led to the consultative meetings in Mogadishu in September and October, during which agreements on the electoral model were reached. The dialogue and spirit of consensus which yielded these agreements needs to continue in order to ensure that the national elections remain on track and are anchored in transparency, fairness, and inclusivity. We continue to urge all of Somalia's leaders to remain steadfast in their commitment to collaborating with each other as the electoral preparations progress. At the same time, we believe that the resumption of such dialogue on a regular basis can help resolve outstanding issues. We wish to emphasize that the agreed electoral model should not be reopened, but has to be implemented in an acceptable, credible, and transparent manner. In particular, we stress that this will include ensuring that the 30% quota for women in the parliamentary elections and in the implementing bodies is achieved, and that any concerns regarding the composition of the delegate selection committees, the electoral committees, Somaliland Committee, and GEDO are resolved by consensus in a manner that ensures that the committees are non-partisan and that allows for fair and diverse representation. In that last respect, it is our hope that Puntland will soon nominate its own 8 members of its electoral committee, and we hope that also all federal member states, regional assemblies will begin the preparations for their elections of the members of the upper house of the federal parliament allocated to them. On other priorities, we also encourage Puntland and all federal member states to engage the federal government to reach agreement on the next steps regarding the provisional federal constitution and also on the program for 2021 for the expected new administration. While here in Garowe, we also commended President DENI on his local efforts to respond to the impact of Cyclone Gati, one of the strongest storms ever to hit Somalia. It brought to the region more than a year's worth of rain in 2 days and left thousands displaced and at least 8 people dead. The United Nations in Somalia and other partners are actively engaged in joint assessments of the damage and providing material assistance. As we conclude our visit, we appreciate the warm welcome from the people of Puntland and its administration. The AU, EU, IGAD, and the UN will continue to stand with you as friends and partners. Thank you, Mr. President.
waxaan na soo booqday safiirka Sweden oo runtii dal Soomaaliya saaxiib la ah muddo dheer dalka Soomaaliya soo caawinayay xilligii dawladihii hore jireen iyo intii dalka burbur ka jiray gaar ahaan Puntland runtii wax badan la qabta dhinacyo fara badan dhinaca caafimaadka dhinaca Francis Labka iyo projectiyo kale oo dalka ka socda waxaan ugu mahad celinaynaa muddadii dheereed ay caawinayeen guud ahaan Soomaaliya gaar ahaan Puntland iyo sidoo kale community badan oo Soomaali ah oo dalka Sweden ay ku soo dhaweeyeen oo maanta kamid ah bulshadooda Sweden sidoo kale origin Soomaali ah iyadana waxa weeye waxyaabaha runtii dalalkii ugu horeeyay dadkii Soomaaliyeed ee 80meeyadii dalalkooda duruufo kala duwan uga qaxay dadkii soo dhaweeyay ay kamid ahaayeen runtii kulanka maanta wuxuu kulan aad u wanaagsan dhinacyo badan ka wareysanay mashaariicda ay caawiyaan dalka socday guud ahaan arrimaha Soomaaliya iyo siyaasadda dalka iyo arrimaha la xiriira doorashooyinka iyo waxyaabaha socda kulan aad u wanaagsan buu ahaa oo waxyaabihii aan ka wada guud ahaan iska afgaranay safiir soo dhawaad mahadsantahay. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, President DENI, for receiving us here today. It's always a pleasure to come to Garowe. I've been here a number of times over the years, and it's always nice to come. And thank you so much for a very interesting talk we had. We visited today the Forensic Center in Garowe. It's a national forensic center, and it enables Somalia to, with the most sophisticated scientific equipment, obtain evidence of crime, which is among the worst crimes you can imagine when women are being raped or other crimes of similar types are being perpetrated. This center, which has been created with the lead of the Puntland government, with the support of UNFPA and partners, among them Sweden, is very important for measures to strengthen actions to stop violence against women. We also welcome the fact that Puntland has, since 2016, has a bill, a sexual offences law, that allows the government to bring to justice people who are involved and found guilty of this crime. We hope the federal government will also, and the federal parliament will also deal with the sexual offences bill soon and pass a similar bill that will allow these measures and laws to be implemented all over Somalia. Then the forensic center can be used, not only by Puntland, but also by other federal member states, and help women and girls around the country against this terrible crime. I also welcome, when we discuss the measures to promote democracy in Somalia, Puntland will next year have local elections which are democratic, with one person, one vote. Everybody can vote on equal terms and participate. This is a very important signal and very important step, and it's a step in the way towards democracy in Somalia. And we hope that other local governments and states will follow this lead, and that Somalia, all over the country, will in the coming years create a system of one person, one vote, a democratic system. In this process, it's also important to make sure that the commitment that Somali leaders have agreed to have at least 30% women in parliament in this coming election, in the coming weeks and months, that this commitment is upheld. And this is a commitment that follows on the commitment from 2016, when the Somali leaders agreed to have 30% women. They achieved 34% at that time, which was a good achievement. This time, achieving at least 30% in the federal election to parliament and the upper house is very, very important. We support wholeheartedly this effort, and we welcome the leadership that are shown by state presidents together with the federal government to agree on this goal of at least 30% women in parliament. So, Mr. President, thank you so much for this, and we will follow very closely the continuation of this, and also the improved dialogue between the states and the federal government. And we think the fact that that dialogue has improved, and we hope that that can be regularized, because we see, like you, the importance of having a very close and continuous dialogue between the federal government and the federal member states, because this is the essence of a federal system, that you have this dialogue continuously. So thank you again, Mr. President. I look forward to visiting Garowe and Puntland soon again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.